Well, it's pretty amazing that we're going on 45 years. I'm impressed. I'm proud of the food bank and where it started from its humble beginnings and where it is now, a really important and key nonprofit in Humboldt County. And there are so many people to thank for that. Many of the women who we first helped and who were behind this program, they were low income and had themselves had needed to have assistance through food stamps or through welfare. They were single moms, many of them. And so in their hearts and in their lives, they had lived this problem of food insecurity in our nation. And that inspired them. And they could see that around the country, grassroots organizations were beginning to come forward and help people. And that's where the Food Rights Action Project began and got its name.
You know, the thing that I have been most impressed with in this community has been the concept of the need to pay it forward. There were countless times from the early days all the way through to the new building when people would say, you know, I was a struggling single parent or college student or whatever, and the food bank was there and helped me. Now I'm doing well and I want to give back.
When we began, there were only 2 paid staff, myself and a position we called the food bank coordinator. It was a lot of work and we all did everything. We went to the stores, picked up the food, enlisted volunteers to help us sort and put bags together for families that were in need. We had a little house on V Street in Eureka. As we grew and as people saw our services and what we were doing, we began to have more options for funding a building.
When they were starting to do the fundraising for their then capital campaign to get into the old building at 14th Street, someone had said, well, if 800 people gave $5 a month, you could meet a good part of your annual operating budget. So it got the name the 800 Club, which later got confused with the more religious approach to that. It evolved over time. We really like the term full plate partners, and it's amazing because you get notes in the mail from people who are giving $5 or $10 a month saying, I wish I could do more, but you know, this is what I can afford and thank you for all you're doing. And everybody has found a way, whether it's little kids who have a birthday party and ask their friends to bring a donated food item instead of a gift, or raising money through a lemonade stand, or I just appreciate that it's been an all age level, all income levels initiative that has kept food for people going.
Once we were able to move into the property at Summer and 14th, we totally renovated it. It was, I believe it was a beauty salon before we got there. The benefit of having a new space and having much more commercial storage, refrigeration, and freezer space, it opened a whole new possibility for the kinds of foods we could accept, both from local donors and from the large food bank network that was beginning to grow around California. It just began to grow exponentially.
The sewer flood of the building happened on February 28th, 2020. I will never forget that date. And it was just unbelievable to walk through the building with sewer water everywhere, trash cans floating by, and just coming to grips with the magnitude of the damage. And it was, I believe, 11 days later that the shelter-in-place orders were issued. And so on top of trying to find new locations, it was redesigning all of our food distribution protocols to keep everybody safe. There were a lot of food shortages, difficulties in getting things shipped to us because of COVID. It was all right, tear it down and start over. It was a huge project at a very stressful time. I'm just absolutely so amazed and so eternally grateful that so many people stepped forward to help in different ways. In the early days, there were many times when I wasn't sure we were going to make payroll because it was that tight financially. We always did, but there was always those nail-biting moments of wondering if that was going to happen. So to see it on the other end of that spectrum and have this beautiful building that's so functional and can better serve the community is just immensely gratifying.
Well, I think it's important to note that Food for People could never have gotten to this point without the support of our community. We've come a long ways, and I'm confident that will continue. It was our hope that we could work ourselves out of business, that eventually hunger would not be a problem in our community and around our nation. But that hasn't proven to be so. As long as the need is there for food assistance, Food for People will be there.
Thank you everyone for supporting Food for People and allowing us to get to where we are today, serving 15% of our county's population. We couldn't have done it without the incredible support of our community. And if you want to find out more ways to get involved or help support, go to foodforpeople.org and donate or volunteer today.